Professor, thank you so much for taking the time, as always.
Absolutely, Larry.
Man, so I'm listening to excuse after excuse, Lee, about those bad numbers. COVID-19, people are afraid to go back to work. Women are not going back to work because they're at home and they're single and they're staying with the kids. 1 month does not a trend make. You can't expect this thing to be coming back evenly like this. Not a single one of the administrators in the Obama administration that I saw over the weekend, Lee, said that maybe, just maybe, we've created a disincentive on the part of workers not to work.
No, Larry, that's exactly right. The employment report was just devastatingly negative. I have never seen a forecast error by 700 or 800,000 jobs. When that forecast was made 1 or 2 days before the data was released, that was a complete jaw dropper. It's because of economic policies. It's because the people are not sufficiently incentivized to be finding jobs right now, and teachers' unions are keeping schools closed. So when you take into account both the failure to open schools and the fact that Washington, D.C. is just printing money left and right and sending it out in checks to people, there's no surprise that the employment report was so awful. And the stock market went up on Friday for the most perverse reason, because the stock market should be responding to foundational, legitimate economic news. Instead, the stock market is going up because they think the Fed will continue just to print money left and right. This is, Larry, I thought the Obama administration policies were the worst I'd ever seen in my lifetime. These ones under Biden and Janet Yellen and Jerome Powell are just so much worse.
My guest is UCLA economist Lee Ohanian. Professor, CNN Business has an article headline, "Prices are rising everywhere you look." Year to year, prices are up 2.6%. Now, that's higher than the 2% that the Fed said was their ideal number.
Exactly. Their target is 2%. Year over year is 2.6%. In in March, it was annualized at 7%. And the New York Federal Reserve Bank conducts a public survey every month, and they're finding that within the public, they're expecting inflation between 3 and 3.5% over the next 3 years. So the Fed is the Fed is doing a poor job of keeping prices stable. And as you noted, wherever you look, prices are up. Lumber prices, oil prices, copper prices. There are a number of shortages. And the Fed just keeps having their head in the sand and saying, well, we have inflation under control and we have no plans whatsoever to stop printing money.
Professor, there is an article in Bloomberg, headline, "Job Paradox Baffles Economists as U.S. Employers See Shortage." When you see a headline like that, baffles economists, and you're an economist, I'm sure your reaction has got to be, I ain't baffled.
No, there's no surprise whatsoever. This is, the economics is really simple and it's really clear. There's no one in Washington advising Biden who has the necessary training and experience to be providing good guidance. No one. There's absolutely no one who has any background in this area. And it's just very, very simple. It is very, very simple. The incentives aren't there. Schools aren't open. What's going to push people out the door to accept those jobs when checks are coming in and when their kids can't go to school? It's as clear as day, and yet President Biden runs around saying, well, the fact that the employment report was so bad means that we need even more of the same medicine that we're providing to the economy. Larry, who does that sound like? That sounded like President Obama back in 2009 and 10 and 11 and 12 and 13, and the years just kept going on with the slowest recovery we've ever had. We're getting the same type of failed policies under President Biden, but at a factor of about 4 or 5 times greater than what we saw under President Obama.
Professor, the Bloomberg article to which I just now referenced said, quote, anyone who made less than $32,000 per year is better off financially in the near term receiving unemployment benefits. Anybody who made 32 grand or less is better off financially in the near term, says economists at Bank of America, better off receiving unemployment benefits.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And there's no surprise about that because we had seen the same type of patterns coming from Western and Northern Europe for the last 30 to 40 years, where unemployment rates were about 10, 14, 15%, because unemployment benefits were extremely generous, and they continued for a long, long time. So there just wasn't the incentive to get people out there taking jobs.
You know, there are Republican governors who apparently are ending some of the unemployment benefits because they feel that they're creating this kind of disincentive. So you're having Republican governors who are apparently reacting to your analysis and my analysis, and Democrat governors doing just the opposite.
No, that's exactly right. There are a number of people in the private sector, including the Chamber of Commerce.
45 seconds, Professor.
Yeah, including Chamber of Commerce and other business advocacy groups who they know what's going on, and they are appealing to their political leaders to try to get a better-looking economy. And this is what we're seeing. And I think on this side, the Democratic politicians just have it all wrong.
Professor, as always, thank you very much for coming on. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, Larry. Good to speak with you.